And it is I, Miss Sophia the Diva, and you know I am wearing my cowgirl hat. Because you know why? Last Saturday, the 31st show on the Cowboy Carter, was it Chitlin Circuit? I forgot the whole name. But either way, guess who got to be in the building? I did. And it probably cost me my health, but I also think I probably caught whatever the heck this is that I have from someone at work, probably. But either way, yes, it is I, Miss Sophia the Diva. Welcome to a Diva Disturbed Friday Night Live. I promised you guys I would be back on here again. And as sick as I am right now, I'm going to see how long my voice holds up. So, off the top, let's talk about Cowboy Carter. So I went, and I was blessed to be able to go because one of my good girlfriends, who's more like my sister than anything, looked out for me and made sure I got a ticket because she says you've had the year from hell, and by God, you deserve it. And if you're in town and Beyonce's in town, you should go because everyone knows she's my favorite living artist. Okay. Um, but one of the things that's interesting, Allegiant Stadium, I just don't see me coming back. Apparently it's been a long time since I've been out anywhere. I don't remember the formation tour set up, but then again, that was in San Diego, so that was different. Um, but parking is expensive in Vegas when you're trying to get into a stadium, apparently. Me being in Atlanta and LA, um, parking just wasn't as high as what it is in Vegas. I don't recall that. And then of course in Reno there was no paid parking, so we just kind of, you go to casinos for entertainment and you park. But let me get to so what happened. I park in the parking garage at Mandalay Bay. I meet this wonderful group of ladies. One lady happens to be from Texas. The other two young ladies are from California. Uh, Amber, Tashi, and Pat. We all became relatives. Actually, they are relatives. Tashi and Amber are married, and Pat is Amber's cousin. So, needless to say, we all linked up, okay, because I didn't know where the hell I was going in this parking garage. I was all turned around, but I was like, I gotta get to you, Beyonce. So we get outside. Poor cousin Pat is on one of those little scooter things. Hey, Jordan. Is on one of those scooter things. And so we end up getting a ride on a golf cart, okay? So we ride to the golf cart across this bridge from Mandalay Bay. We get to go through the handicap stall because, well, shit, cousin Pat is handicapped. Get to where we're gonna check tickets. My crossbody is not the size they want to get into Allegiant Stadium, okay? And that pissed me off. So I had to go spend $20 for a locker, which y'all, by the way, at the end of the night, ended up being opened. Thank God nothing was missing from my purse. And it was just ridiculous. But to be able to go see Beyonce, it's worth it. I will fight tooth and nail to go see my girl because I think she's totally worth it. She puts in a great performance. So I ended up meeting up with my sorority sister and her daughters and a niece, and we hung out in the merch line because all the merch lines were ridiculously long. Um, Now, mind you, the tickets say the show starts at 7. Okay? Here's the thing I need to educate you on about Beyonce and her consideration for her fans and also the consideration for her pocketbook. Okay? Um, Between 5 and 9, between 5 and, no, between 7. So the doors opened at 5. The show's supposed to start at 7. Uh, Show didn't start till 9. You know why? Because she knows that the lines are ridiculous and that people are going to want to be in line. There's going to be people not being able to get to their seats. Because, I mean, y'all trying to navigate that stadium. It's ridiculous. And I was like, this, you know, this is crazy because I ended up having to separate from my newly made friends because I had to go back and put my stuff in a locker. So be sure if you go to Allegiant Stadium for anything, just take a clear bag. They don't give a damn what size it is, apparently, just as long as they can see your stuff, honey. I don't get it because I'm like, they were turning away people that had like basically pencil long clutches. You said clutch, and my bag is not that big. So come on, Allegiant. Then when you buy water and stuff, baby, they don't let you keep the cap. I guess they scared people gonna throw the caps at people doing the show or up on stage, or I don't know what the issue is with that, but that's what they did. And I was like, well, I don't want to spill my water. Needless to say, I did make some new friends. Another new friend, Naja from Boston, originally by way of Pennsylvania. Is it Naja? Yeah, we have a lot in common, as it turns out. But the show was amazing. Yes, I was there to see Destiny's Child get to come out. I got to see Jay Z. I got to see Shabuzi perform with her. Of course, we always love to see the two mini stars, Rumi and Blue. I was very disappointed that for Blue's first solo performance, dance performance, um, somebody did not put the spotlight on my niecey poo, and I said, "What's wrong with y'all? We need to. Our star need to be shining. Okay, she need to be shining. Okay." So anyway, it was an amazing night. I do realize that my age has caught up with me because I have not been kicking it like I used to since the pandemic, really. So for the past 5 years, I have not been a social butterfly at all, nor have I really been out and about like I do. Because if y'all know me from when I used to live in LA, I was always out doing something, honey. Whether I was doing stand up or was at some social event, some company sponsored event, I was always out there, honey, just tooling around Hollywood, meeting folk. Um, but the show was amazing. Getting out was hell. Um, the next day, I slept in until 6 o'clock in the evening because I didn't get in until about 2. I did not go to bed probably until about 3 because my ass was too busy being up watching the Hunting Wives. If y'all have not watched this new series that's on Netflix, and I pray it gets a season 2 because we have to resolve what happened with poor little Sophie, little Sophie's Choice. Okay, hello, God's child. Hello, the master. Hello, Lil. Okay. Um, but either way, y'all, it was just an amazing, amazing show. But by Monday night though, I started to get sick. So I ended up going to urgent care yesterday because I started getting sick Monday night. Tuesday, I called out from work. Now, mind you, y'all know I just started my job. This is week 3. Um, Wednesday, I struggled to get back in. I felt okay, but by the end of the day, I was so drained and exhausted, I shouldn't have went to work. Then Thursday, I laid around and languished in bed and finally got up and went to urgent care. And only to be told after they swabbed both of my nostrils, it's not COVID, but it's the flu. And it's flu type A. Um, which I'm like, do I get a Z pack? Of course, they ain't gonna give y'all no Z pack for no virus. Although, here's my thing with it because of I'm not a doctor, but because of my experience with respiratory infections, I'm like, if the mucus is yellow, doesn't it mean that there's an infection and therefore maybe an antibiotic or a Z pack, would work? But anyway, she gave me some Tamiflu. Kind of a blessing though, because I need to establish medical care here. Because I have not been had a physical in over a year. Y'all, Diva will be getting in shape. I might be taking y'all on that journey with me because um, why am I tipping the scales at 260? I have not been that big since I got diagnosed with high blood pressure in my mid 30s. I'm 48 now. Um, but I pretty much have done nothing all day but lay around. I've barely fed myself. I'm like, whatever I can find to grab out the refrigerator that I can snack on without requiring any work is great. Because yesterday I spent the rest of the evening going out and trying to get everything I needed because I knew I'm not leaving my house until Monday because the doctor told me to stay in and just rest and relax and do whatever that means, reading, watching something. So, or in my case, I enjoy getting on my social media and having conversations with people. Um, but So yes, Diva did get to go see Beyonce. I'm very grateful to have gotten to see Beyonce. Very grateful for that experience. God is good. I was in the right place at the right time because I really was disappointed that I did not get to go see Renaissance. And then, I got to see Cowboy Carter, which is great because what you know about them Texas girls. So I still don't understand the hate for Beyonce, but I guess honestly, I think that's what happens. Like I said before in another video, I think just the previous video, a lot of people just hate people because they don't know how to deal with people who don't respond to negativity. And if she does respond, she just responds to it in a song. So anyway, I know everybody. I know them country music folk in Nashville mad as hell because she has the highest grossing uh, country music concert ever in history so far. So clock that. Okay. But the thing is though, when you tell somebody like Beyonce they can't, they shouldn't, she gonna go harder. Okay. And then on top of that, people can say whatever they want to, but Beyonce did a country song on Lemonade, Daddy Issues. And since we all believe what Act 3 is going to be, uh, it would shock me if it's not rock. And she's done rock songs before. Even if it wasn't recorded on an album, it's been performed. But on Lemonade, for instance, 6 Inch Heels and oh God, what's the other song? Don't Hurt Yourself. Who the fuck do you think I am? And you know what? It's time that the rock gods be given their due. When you think about um, Little Richard, he was the loudest one in the room, spoke nothing but truth. Little Richard, you know, was it Big Mama Thornton, Rosetta Tharpe, um, Bo Diddley, Chuck Berry. I mean, all of these people that, kind of got lost in the hollows of history because so many people want to rewrite history, make it what it's not. So I think it's great. I think that people miss the artistry. I think that people miss the message. I think that people miss the history. And she's teaching us things that we're not taught in school. Like, I didn't know where denim came from. Negro cloth. Denim was only worn by, like, the slaves. But then Levi's came along and made it what it is. But people don't know that because they think that, oh, we're just going to hate Beyonce. She's nobody, whatever. She is somebody. And she's walking in her purpose, pursuing her passion, doing it every day and enjoying it. And her children are involved. And I remember at the top of the tour, Rumi came out and was, she was being a typical, what is she, 6, 7 years old? And people, I ain't come to see no child. Well, guess what? That song, Protect Her, Rumi is on that song. So, yes, you did come to see her. And you also are listening to her on that album, okay? But let me get off of my cousins. I always call them the cousins. Um, but let's see what is going on in the news today, y'all. I really don't know politically what's going on other than it's August. What is this? August 1st. It's August, y'all. Is the Simpsons gonna be right? That's all I want to know. Are they gonna be right? Anyway, uh, Shannon Sharp. Let's talk about him, and this is a lesson in why you should listen to your elders. So Shannon Sharp, NFL Hall of Famer, was on the top of his game before Cat Williams crashed out his life. So Cat Williams And comedian Monique as well forewarned him of the fall that would come if he continued to mess around with these young gals, particularly these others, these young white women. And sure enough, he has had to settle a multi-million-dollar suit with an OnlyFans model or whatever she was, sex worker. I don't know what. OnlyFans at one point people were using it like a Patreon. I was like, we cooking or we what we doing? I don't know. Me personally, when times got desperate, if I could have afforded a good pedicure, I was gonna become a foot model on OnlyFans. That's how hard times had gotten for me. Okay, um, nothing too freaky. Just you want me to squish up some grapes or something, Daddy? No. So anyway, Shannon Sharp. It's a cautionary tale of what happens when you don't listen. And they forewarned him that you need to be with someone that's in your age category. Or I would even say, even if you are an older man and wants a younger woman that's perhaps maybe still fertile because maybe you still want children, at least let her be over 30 because she's had some life experiences then. Yes, there are some women that are mature enough who have had to grow up hard and fast. I personally, felt like for the longest, up until I was 30, I always was approached by men that were older than me and that kind of accepted the fact that this is who I'm going to date. But then when I got over 30, for some reason, people that were in their 20s, and I'm talking about early 20s, like, sir, are you even old enough to drink or do I have to order your drink and hand it to you? Old. Okay. So, oh, excuse me. Like I said, I'm going to talk as long as I can talk to try to get through what I want to talk about. But now Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco now are being sued. First of all, Shannon Sharp got released from ESPN. He will not be back. There are, what I find interesting is that there are morality clauses in these contracts these days. But a lot of these networks are just selling out. Because isn't ESPN owned by ABC, and then ABC settled some suit with Orange Aid, Angry Wig? Yeah, so I'm just like, y'all got some nerve firing him, and y'all paid off a predator. So I mean, really? So now him, and I just saw a headline, him and Ocho Cinco are being sued for defamation by a lady named Jamalta Tillman, a woman who went viral after an interaction with Usher at a concert. Tillman alleges that Sharp and Johnson falsely claimed she was divorcing her husband due to the interaction causing her reputational damage. The lawsuit seeks 20 million in damages. So Sharp and Johnson allegedly made false statements on their podcast Nightcap, suggesting that Tillman's husband was filing for divorce. I don't know all of the details about that, but I mean, if they prefaced it with allegedly, I don't think you have a leg to stand on, but I don't know the details. But whenever this happens, that's when all of the people start coming out the woodworks. But it all started with you not listening, Shannon Sharp. You gotta do better, and I hope you do better by your daughter. Talking about she got a $30,000 budget, and you just retired some little 19-year-old girl. Oh, ain't nothing worse than old food. And there's no alcohol in this, babies. Mama is sipping on pineapple juice. Pineapple juice is a natural cough suppressant, and I put some jalapenos in it because to get that spicy too. Drain these nostrils. What else is happening? Deion Sanders, child. Not my prime time. Y'all, so Deion Sanders is a cancer survivor. Back in May, he had surgery to fully remove his bladder. And then we also find out another piece of the puzzle. Not that it was a puzzle because none of us were wondering about it. But Karuchi Tran, 37-year-old actress model, former Chris Brown girlfriend, former, who is she used to date, that other football player? I forgot his name just that fast. I thought they were cute together. I was hoping they would have worked out, but they didn't. Apparently, her and Dion um, are a thing now. I'll tell you one thing, Dion is consistent in his taste in women. Pilar, Tracy Edmonds, and now Karuchi Tran is what colloquially, or the Urban Dictionary would describe as exotic. So, but I like Karuchi. She's cute, cute little thing. Um, and then of course y'all's favorite former football player, Crash Out King himself. I'm surprised his other co-star Ye didn't pop out of somewhere, talking about how she dating him and he ain't got no toes and no bladder. And one of my friends said it best, but he still got a brain. Cause I swear Antonio Brown act like he don't have a brain cell left in his brain, in his head. He just one French fry away. He a few fries short of a Happy Meal. That's what we gonna say. He a few fries short of a Happy Meal is how he be sounding half the time. Okay. So I just, I'm like, leave him alone. Dion, and there are other athletes who have had to have toes removed because when you play on certain fields, turf, and if you can't get a grip, I mean, your toes take a beating, and then it's like, they gotta go. Okay, your toes gotta go. And he still has toes. Not all his toes are gone. Um, but I just, people, and then there's a rumor going around that alleges that uh, Tracy and Carucci were cool, and Tracy had asked Carucci if she was creeping with Dion or dating him, and Carucci denied it. I don't know. Hollywood is a messy place. That's all I got to say. So whatever happened, happened. So I don't know. Um, I really don't know. I'm so sleepy now. I'm tired. So I think I'm gonna go to bed. Because that's all I had to say is that I went to go see Beyonce. I went. Oh, so I just saw Variety, my former employer from back in the day. Variety just showed that, and just like that is just like that over. Okay, just like that it's over. Um, that's ending after season 3, and I say, well, good riddance. I kind of Sex in the City when it first came out, I was all stoked about it, and it was cool. But then I think, when did that show come out? What, in 2001, 2002? And the only reason I think that is because I remember it was right before I went to law school. I think is when the first season dropped, and I was totally into it. But then I kind of lost interest. And then they did that part Sex in the City movie part 2, and I just didn't dig it, and I lost interest, and I definitely didn't want to see that. And plus, with Mr. Big dying, and the actual actor getting into some getting canceled without any real due diligence, I was like, it's just not the same without Big. So I think it's time, and plus, Miss Cottrell wasn't on there. Girl, you can't have no good show without her. I could see if she was gone on to be with the Lord, gone on to glory, but baby, bring her back, and the show probably would have made it another season or two. But my friend Tamara said that I've been a fan of the movies and the series, and just like that was still great. Women in their 50s are fabulous. It was a series I love so much. It's not about women not being fabulous in their 50s, because people like Nene and Phaedra and all of them give me hope. Even though, like, people are saying it looks like Nene has had some additional surgeries done on her nose. Um, I'm gonna have to look at the camera angles, because usually when it looks like that, that means that she's had some really sharp contouring done. But I mean, if she has, I mean, that's on her. That's her business. If hell, maybe she a member of the Jackson family, because Lord knows they quick to cut their nose down. Janet, I just look at her nose sometimes. I'm like, can she breathe? I really do, because I'm just like, at what point are y'all gonna stop fiddling with y'all's noses? Like, let it be, let it be. Um, Let me see what else is going on before I. It's a lot going on. It was a lot going on. Yeah. So anyway, bang, 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 bang. Anyway, y'all, I think that's it. There's a lot I could talk about. There was so much that happened. Oh, did we talk about Hulk Hogan dying? Yeah, we did. But there's a story going around that his daughter Brooke asked to be removed from getting any inheritance. Now, even if she is included in the will, which I don't know, she can always disclaim. Just file a simple disclaimer saying you're not interested, then it will be put back into the estate and distributed according to the terms as if she predeceased him, possibly, I guess. I don't. I do this for a living, but I'm just saying I don't know, and it's Florida, so I don't know. But either way, oh, Michael Rappaport. And I'm so glad that it looks like Jane Fonda. I only see if Jane Fonda checked him for real. Because some of these stories that be posting, um, I don't know. But Michael Rappaport, Remy, I just, I don't know if this is true. It doesn't look like it's true. But anyway, they're saying that she checked Michael Rappaport because Michael Rappaport was trying to tell folks